Hey everyone, it's me, Brent. I've been a little sick lately, so forgive the sniffles and the voice. But I got the second run in for production samples. Now this isn't the final finish that we'll have on the Titanium XS. We still have to run it through the tumbler, but I wanted you to see it compared to the stainless steel. Now you can see that the titanium, even though it's a thicker material, it still weighs less than the stainless steel version. Now you may not be able to tell the difference in thickness, but one way you can see it is by me taking this gauge of steel and putting it in between the two for the titanium, and you can see that there's a little gap. And that gap is there because this piece is thicker. All these pieces are thicker than this one here. So it's a little bit more stout compared to this one, but it's still lighter. Now these pins are designed for the stainless steel version, but I wanted to be able to put it together to show you guys. And so when we do the production run, they're going to be just a little bit longer so that the groove fits in there, but I wanted you to be able to see what it looks like all put together. Overall, it's looking good. Remember, this isn't the final finish. I still have to run it through the tumbler and then run it through crushed walnut. It takes about maybe 30 hours before we'll get the final finish on it, but I'll of course show you it when we're done. Alright, let's talk about the 3.0 now. I sent off an order for another prototype sample for the production run. This crosspiece is way too wobbly, and it's because you can see right in here, see if I can bring that close, this gap is way too big. And so I'm going to order another one, adjusted tolerances there, adjusted tolerances in here, and then that way this thing fits better. But this right here is unacceptable. Now for the spring. Okay, we have two different versions here. One is a leaf spring. As you can see here, it's thick. It's made out of stainless steel. But the thing about this one, it doesn't have much travel, as you can see when I close it. Now this version over here, this is also a leaf spring, but it's a thinner material and it's actually doubled up. So if you can see. Now the other version is also a leaf spring, but this one has two of them put together and it has much more travel, as you can see. Let me show them to you side by side. Now a spring designed like this one only has so much adjustment you can put into it before it bends itself back to that original memory position. Now this one you can also adjust, but it takes more travel before it loses its memory. So let me show you the issues there, but real quick, I'm going to tie these things up. I wanted to show you that the cord came in. Here's the black samples. This is the 1/4 inch, this is the 5/16. They're both 50 feet. You can see that the 1/4 inch is much thinner, barely get my hand around that, than the 5/16. They're both looking good. Anyhow, that's in, so we don't have to wait on that anymore. This one is the leaf spring design. Well, you can see that having the jaws that close together isn't going to help us out in retrieving mode. So let's try the double spring now. Here's our double spring. Has much more travel, and so it holds the jaws open, which that little distance makes a big difference. So you can see the leaf spring and the double spring, this one has much more travel, why this one does better. Now remember, you could also take the trail end of the rope and place it in between there, and that helps keep it open even further if you're trying to retrieve something that's a little more awkward. Okay, now we have to figure out what kind of pin we want. So we have two different styles of pins. One is a ball detent, if you can see the ball in there, and the other one is a wedge type, and this locks it in. So here's the difference. With the ball detent, you can push it in and you can pop it right back out. With this spring wedge, you push it in and it will not come out unless you depress the wedge, and then it'll come out. So this one's too long, but we would get one made so it's just the right size, or we can stick with the regular ball. You guys let me know. On top of that, we have this hole here. This was for the spring design, but since the spring is revised and it bounces off this bottom part of the linkage, we don't need that hole anymore unless we use it for a little storage area for the pin. So let me know if you guys want these holes there. This one's too big, but if you want a hole there so that when you're not using the pin up here to hold the crosspiece in place, that you can put it right here to store it and still have it on hand. The XL I'm also having recut to make sure that the tolerance for the crosspiece is good, and then I'm also going to integrate the same type of spring design that you see on the 3.0 into the XL. So once those come in, I'll let you know how that goes.